I'll call the Acton School Committee meeting together to order at this time, August 9th, 2016. And we'll begin with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, any adjustments to the agenda?
Recommend that we strike 1-3 executive session, 1311 and 1312, as there's no need for executive session this evening.
Okay. Eliminate that.
Well, one
That's
three,
actually reporting out from our
the
last
last
meeting.
executive session.
Yeah.
It would normally come up after 9, in between 9 and 10, so it's not here.
Yeah. Wait, I took it off.
What?
So for executive session for tonight,
Oh,
it's
no.
not even on the agenda?
No, but
Yeah.
in the agenda, we decided we're gonna keep it there. And
That was
then,
decided earlier today.
At the end. just in
We'll keep
case.
it on there, we'll keep it on the agenda as a
You didn't
permanent
know it.
item.
no, you didn't know.
Okay, we'll add it on.
Yeah, and
No
then
problem.
any night that we don't need it, we will just, in adjustments to the agenda, we'll just eliminate it.
Okay,
Okay?
yeah, no problem.
The 1-3 we added recently to, if we went into,
Mm.
like we talked about negotiations and personnel in the last one, but there was no action taken. So we just wanted, because no one stays,
Mhm.
you know, they leave. So we wanted to always just make sure people knew
Mhm.
what the action was in executive.
And there was no action taken in
Right.
that executive?
Right.
Okay.
We have
Okay,
no
before
taken.
we go on with our comments from the public tonight, this is really the second meeting that we've had with our new principal, superintendent/principal, and, but we didn't really have much public at the last meeting, so I've asked Mr. Ross if he would kind of tell us a little bit about himself again and
You bet.
how he's making out here at Acton, and I think he's going to, in turn, introduce our new
Instructional coach.
Instructional coach.
Sounds great.
South Group.
Sure. Well, I have 2 more weeks under my belt since the last time I was in a school committee meeting, and one more time, I just need to reiterate what a nice feeling it is to be at Acton Elementary School. At this point, I've worked with probably half the staff. I've been in and out for different reasons, and I've already met some parents, played some basketball with some 8th graders who showed up on a night that wasn't basketball, so we kind of had a little game. Summer school happened this summer, went off without a hitch, had a chance to meet all those students and some of the teachers, and just really looking forward to a really good year. I think we're going to be in really good shape. So, feels like home already.
Good.
Feels like home.
Nice to have you on board.
Well, thank you. And one of the things I've had the pleasure to do is hire our new instructional coach. Dr. Francine Young comes to us from out west. Francine has a doctorate in education and many years' experience. She may tell you a little bit about herself, but we welcome her to our school, and she's going to do a fantastic job working with our staff as a coach to ensure that we use the best practices possible to reach the academic goals that we have in place for every one of our students. So with that, Francine, welcome aboard. If you have a few words for who you are for the public and the committee, that would be awesome.
Okay, well, I'm Francine Young. I'm new to the whole Dr. Francine Young thing. It's not even a year old yet. When people say that, I look around. I don't know, is it me? I was teaching 7th and 8th grade for 19 years, all subjects, mostly English language arts and math the last couple of years. I added in some science and social studies, so I've had quite a bit of access to multiple subject areas. My focus for my doctoral studies was teacher professional development and improving the opportunities for teachers within their school communities to be able to access best practices, instruction, and finding ways to support them. So being offered this position worked right into my whole master plan for what I hoped I would be able to do once I finished with that. If my husband's job hadn't transferred from California, I I don't know what I would be doing. I may still be teaching 7th and 8th grade. I'm not sure, but everything happens for a reason. So I'm very glad to be here. Everyone has made me feel very welcome and very at home.
Excellent.
Very.
Great to have you with us.
Yes,
Thank you
welcome,
very much.
welcome.
Any comments from the public?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, we can do that after, yeah. Okay, let's move on then to recognition. We'll have some updates on our grants.
You bet. I have a press release from Kepware, and this is a great press release, and I give Eileen Worcester all the credit for this. Kepware Technologies, a software development business focused on industrial connectivity, has donated $10,000 to the Acton Elementary School. The donation will enable Acton Elementary School students to hone mechanical and computer skills essential for building and programming autonomous robots. Local programs and institutions aimed at nurturing a STEM curiosity can help encourage Maine's youth to explore rewarding careers in science and engineering. We're honored to be able to assist in these efforts by bringing information and technology into the lives of students, especially here at Acton Elementary. Eileen went well out of her way to research some grants and find a grant that matched the mission and the vision of where we're going, especially in the science department here at Acton Elementary School, and along with Project Lead the Way, which is one of our new science programs. I understand that the $10,000 has arrived, and we have 3 teachers going out next week for professional development to learn this curriculum and come back and teach the cohort leaders and the other teachers in science how to use all the kits and the robotics. So without Eileen's efforts, we would not be in the position we're in. And thank you. Thank you very much.
And it was in the Sanford News, the article.
Awesome.
Yep.
Good.
Awesome.
Yeah. That's where I read the whole thing.
It's a great press release. I didn't read all of it. I read a couple of the important opening lines, but it's pretty comprehensive. Job well done. Thank you so much.
And she's also got another grant for us too,
Yes, she did.
this year. Maybe you could tell us a little bit about that one?
It's from an agency called the Awesome Foundation, which you can basically ask them for anything. There's really very little limitations. So I'm trying to get a bunch of outdoor musical equipment for the playground. So I got one conga drum, one lonely drum, but I'm waiting on some other grants for other instruments, so hopefully it'll grow.
Awesome.
Oh,
Thank you. Okay, let's move on to number 4, our consent agenda, and I'll look for a motion to accept the consent agenda.
So moved.
Moved by Mary, seconded by Jeanette. And any discussion? All those in favor? 4-0, okay. Let's go on now to chair reports and superintendent. Chair reports, if you have any questions about the superintendent, principal's report, or any of the chair reports that we had,
This might be a good time to bring in the audit
Yeah.
that's fresh off the press.
that sounds good. I know
Okay.
in Kim's report, you saw that we would have, that R.H. Smith was here doing the audit. So she has some information she'd like to share with us tonight about the audit.
Yes, I do. Yeah, we did well. I mean, he was here for 2 days. He finished it up. You'll be getting a letter that kind of goes over everything that they always got to find something. So they found a couple of house cleaning type things, making sure everybody's time card signed and that type of stuff. But one of the key things we did was the undesignated fund balance, how much is going back to the town. And basically, I've done a little summary sheet, which I wanted to hand out to you guys. So, and then this is the end of the year financial. So just pass those to this side. Okay, because
She's doing our minutes from here on.
No problem. probably make more sense.
So I'm just gonna let you have that for a second just to digest it, but basically, as we've been talking all year, we knew that tuition for the high school was over budgeted because when we did the budget in February, we budgeted for 107 kids, and by the time school started, we were down to 92. So that added up to quite a bit when you look at $12,000 per student. And then in special ed, we had some out-of-district tuitions that, you know, because of changes in situations, we didn't have to, even though we budgeted them, they started, but then all of a sudden they weren't there anymore. So we had quite a bit come back from tuition from that. There were a few things as far as insurances and that type of stuff. So this is kind of what helped build this current year's budget to be, have as much money as it did. So that money, as we had stated during the town meeting, that we would follow the fund balance policy, and after this audit, whatever was there would go back to the town. So what I'm saying is we have $300,000 that will go back to the town to offset taxes.
Now, does that include the 100 that we had in our budget, or is this 300 additional?
This is 300 additional. What is in our budget is used, that 170 that's in our budget to offset taxes will still fit within our undesignated policy, because that was decided prior to.
Prior to.
Okay, this is due to excess funds that, now that the year end is done, this is what will be used, because we asked for it, or the, you know, assuming that we had certain tuitions that were going to be there. They didn't happen, so therefore we're gonna give it back, just because of changes with the student structure, so.
So we probably should let the selectmen know this like right away, because
Yes,
I don't know when they go to commitment for taxes, but
it's soon,
sometime-
and that's
it's
why
soon.
I, that was one of the reasons why I wanted to make sure that once he was done, which I knew was today, and it was the last thing we went over, I said, okay, this is, are we in agreement that this is what it should be? And he said, yes. So this is what I would give to Michelle tomorrow to bring to the selectmen.
Wow.
Okay, what I would like to say is, you were saying there were 15 children that we didn't budget for. It was 107 and it was actually 92. So we saved 180,000 saved. I mean, we thought there
Well-
was 107 kids gonna go.
Right.
And it became, so that's so, you know,
There's a big chunk of this
that's a
300,000.
huge amount right
Right.
there.
And then there's quite a bit in special ed for this basically similar reasons. We and
Anticipated an out of placement,
out of
correct?
placements, yes.
And, or a
That
couple
were
out of
very
placements.
expensive, and I don't
Yes.
really want to mention it because then I don't want to
No,
tag.
no, but
However-
we remember during the process, because you can't name names and say things, but I remember having to budget it almost just in case.
Mhm.
And we have to, because where would we find the money? And the person comes here and we have to take
Right.
care of the
When
child.
when it's that large. yes.
Right.
Right.
So.
So those are the two basic places, unless there were changes in insurance.
Changes in
Sometimes
insurance,
that
so in other words,
happens.
changes in insurance, what I'm saying is like, if we have a current employee that is full family at 18,000, okay? However, they leave and they're replaced with somebody who's single, or no insurance, okay? So there's either 12,000 or, 18,000 that we budgeted for, but now we don't
Spend it.
Okay,
We don't
again,
spend
so
it.
this is where it comes back.
Right.
So, I mean, I'm just trying to say, these are like the big pieces that, I mean, there were a few articles, I think, I know of one article that we did so well with it, we had $7.58 left in that article.
What, was that Andy's?
Good job, Andy.
me.
Yeah, it was Andy's. Yeah. Basically, we did really well with like Andy's article, the superintendent's article, the principal's article, the extracurriculum, even Article 6. There wasn't that much that came back from, which is support staff, which is the library and everything all down through. But basically, Articles 2, which is instruction, regular instruction, and 3, which is special ed. Those are the two big kickers. So that put this, had this balance go back. So my thing is, okay, we stated we were going to stay with the same undesignated fund balance year to go forward. So to do that, we'd have to get this back.
Kim, what's the turnaround time, or when would we expect a written report from the auditors with the detailed explanation of all of it?
Within a week or two.
Within a week or two, thank you.
Oh, yeah, no, I'm sure they were typing it for
So,
So we need to make a motion,
I think, yeah, I think the next thing we need to do is,
Should we just do it under new business?
we'll
or-
do it under new business, yeah, we'll go there. To transfer that.
Well, your town has already authorized a transfer, you're just saying the amount.
The amount, right. Because we
We
didn't
have to
give
vote on.
we didn't give an amount.
Right.
Correct, we didn't give an amount, we stated we would stay within our accounting fund balance policy.
Right, but we gave an amount on our budget of 117.
Right, when it comes to our budget, we stated that we could use up to $170,000 from our undesignated fund balance to cover the $5,263,206.
Okay,
Okay, so that's already
delegated.
That's already delegated.
Okay.
It's committed. It's what they
Committed.
call committed. It's
Committed,
already
yeah.
committed. So that's not even an issue. That doesn't really,
Okay.
that's separate from.
So when we get to new business to make a motion, we're gonna be making a motion to transfer an additional $300,000 to offset taxes.
It's not really an additional. You're just gonna say you're authorizing this transfer to meet the requirement that was done at the town meeting, in the amount of $300,000 to offset taxes.
Wouldn't it sound better if we said an additional?
Well, because,
No? Sound better to the
it sounds like I
taxpayer?
already did it last week, and I didn't. We're only
Right.
doing it once.
Okay, we'll get to that. Any other comments about some of the other reports? Any questions?
Oh, I
about-
would like to say, I want to thank Mike for doing the 4-point scale on the Mastery Connect.
Yes.
Because
Yeah.
you did ask him, and now I feel
Mhm.
bad, he's struggling. But I appreciate it. And I know Kevin would appreciate it, because he was the one who asked for it.
If I could, I'd just like to comment on Andy's report and the good work. We talked about the last committee meeting, the ceiling of the parking area. Now, some of you probably noticed on the way in how good that looks and what a good job that is. And it was actually done sooner than I had thought coming on board, that Andy was able to expedite that, and they did such a good job. So I just wanted to recognize that good work as part of your report.
Very pleased with the job that they did. Yeah. Thank you.
Anybody else got any questions for anybody on their reports? Can see that our new instructional coach has already been busy meeting with people and
Trying.
getting her feet wet for sure. All right, let's move on to chair report, monitoring progress. We have nothing under monitoring progress this time. And under number 7, the committees have been in summer mode, so.
Well, the negotiations are ongoing, and we meet again tomorrow with the teachers. I mean,
Tomorrow?
so, there's no report, there's nothing we
Right.
can say in public.
Yep.
When we're done, we can say things. I mean,
Meeting
what
with
the
the
result
teachers
is.
tomorrow.
Not bad things.
Unfinished business?
Guess there's one.
New business?
Nomination.
We do have 9-1, the nomination of a position for elementary secretary, and my nomination is Eileen Worcester.
9th grade.
We posted that internally for 5 days. Eileen applied for the position. I've met with her.
Yeah.
This is a great opportunity for our school. I think you all know Eileen, and she'll do an excellent job. And for me, in the new role that I have as superintendent and principal, Working with Eileen's gonna be fantastic, because we're gonna be moving into principal mode here pretty soon with teachers and kids coming back. And I forward that nomination to you.
Okay, and I'll look for a motion to elect Eileen as the new elementary school secretary.
So moved.
Second.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Good luck. Oh, wait a minute, I don't mean it that way, I don't mean it that way.
Moving
Yeah, moving on.
moving across the hall
That's
and to
all.
a different position.
Yeah, I don't, you know.
Um,
You'll do fine.
Didn't you mean congratulations?
Oh, oh, that the word, congratulations.
Get that.
Okay.
And,
And Tyler?
Yes.
That was in last, school committee that I announced, though. I don't know if you actually took a vote or not.
No.
You did not?
I don't think so.
Shall we?
I should.
We
Yeah.
shall.
Yeah.
Okay, so.
So hold that thought, Eileen, we gotta go back. Just kidding.
No, 9-1 is all
Yeah,
done.
we're good.
Okay, 9-1-1 is all done.
Tyler.
I will look for a motion to accept, with much regret, the resignation of Tyler Putnam as the social studies teacher for 6, 7, and 8. Tyler is moving back to northern Maine where his family is, and he certainly has been a wonderful asset to the school, and we're gonna miss him a lot. So.
My Patriots buddy's gone.
So, would someone make a motion along those lines to accept his resignation?
I will not.
Nope, he needs to stay.
What have we done?
He's outvoted, we have to say.
Did we ever come across that? All right, I'll make the motion to accept his resignation. I love Tyler Putnam. My kids loved him as a teacher. We'll miss him a lot.
You can
Your
second,
turn.
you can second that one.
All right.
Seconded by Jeanette. All those in favor, and even if you're not in favor,
You have to say something.
yeah. And then secondly, we need to accept the resignation of Amanda Holt as our secretary for the main office.
I'll make a motion to accept Amanda Holt's resignation as the school secretary.
With regret.
Yeah,
Second.
again, she's been somebody that's stepped up to the plate and done a fantastic job in the main office, and she's moving away too, so.
She's going back to California,
She's
correct?
going
back to
back.
This is
California.
why
No
we
idea.
have
She's going-
issues.
No, that's okay. She's going the other way.
Yep.
All those in favor? 4-0, okay. Is there anything else that needs to come before us tonight?
Yes, I guess that would be 9.1.4, which is the transfer of the 300,000
Okay, make that a
to the
motion.
town to offset taxes using our accounting fund balance policy. Yeah,
To move $300,000.
I said it first.
Oh, you
To
said
transfer
that?
300 there.
Okay. Anybody want to second that?
Second.
Okay.
Sorry, Jenna.
Amanda,
Happy
the
festival.
race is on. All right, all those in favor? Great. So, you're gonna be in touch with them at the town hall tomorrow, correct?
Yep.
Because I'm not sure.
No, I'll talk to Michelle first in the morning.
Yeah, I know they usually, determine their taxes in August, sometime in August.
Yeah,
but
and that's why it was.
Maybe it hasn't happened yet.
Yeah, I don't think it has, but I just
Okay.
want to get it up there as soon as possible.
Get that shake.
Before we adjourn,
Fire department.
I see faces that I don't know names that go with. Would you mind introducing yourself?
My name is Danielle Geralds, and I moved back to Acton a couple years ago. I actually grew up in Wells, and lived in Acton for 3 years in high school. Yeah, moved back here. We just bought a property 2 years ago, and very excited to be back. I'm also the new president of the PTG this year, so we're really excited to get some new faces and also keep existing people that have been helping.
Great, thank you.
Good.
Thank you for assuming that responsibility.
Yes, that's a
Yeah.
big one.
Excited about it.
I'm Gina DeLong. I moved to Acton for about 3 years ago. I got 2 kids in school, one in 4th grade and kindergarten. And I'm a treasurer for the teachers.
Oh,
I just moved into that role this year. so.
Yes, thank you for stepping up. Yes.
Thank you. Awesome. Stick around for a few minutes after the meeting so I can talk to the show. Great, thanks.
Sarah.
Sarah Pagnata. I'm the liaison for Warren Finance, but I also have a child going into kindergarten this year. So.
Great. Awesome. Can I just make an announcement on some upcoming mailings?
Be my guest.
That would be
That would
awesome.
be a good time to do that.
Yes, there's a few things that were in the consent agenda that the public may or may not know. One of them is, I'm going to host a forum on the 15th, the September 15th, here at school in regards to a presentation on the changes in the school, changes in leadership, expectations for the parents of what teaching and learning is at Acton Elementary School. There will be a mailing going out. My goal is for Thursday. It's the welcome back letter from me as the superintendent principal to parents. So expect that in your mailbox over the weekend. It'll give all the important dates. So there's a letter with some dates, and then there'll be an attachment, hopefully on a colored piece of paper you can put on the fridge, just going to remind you of some upcoming important dates that you need to keep in mind for your family and your kids. So expect that in the mail anytime. In that will also be some information about this forum, and that will precede our regular open house. So the forum is really just to kind of get acquainted with some new things we're doing at the school and some of our goals, and then our open house will follow the following week with a spaghetti supper, and then meet the teachers and see the school.
Did you say a time?
The time for the forum is going to be, it's not set in stone, but I'm going to shoot for 6:30, hoping that people are home from work by 6:30 to come over, and that would be on the 15th. And then the open house is on September 20th, the following Tuesday, from 6 to 7 with a 5 o'clock spaghetti dinner. And the information I'm sending out via mail, as soon as it goes, will also be posted to the web. Mike's taking a well-deserved vacation, that's why he's not here. And when he comes back on Monday, I'm going to ask him to update the web with that information, so everything will be out there for everybody. Get ready to get back to school.
Can I make an announcement too? Probably within the next week or two, we'll have the bus list from the new bus company, Ledgmere. That will be on the website and most likely posted in the Smart Shopper as well. So I know people have been asking, it's coming too.
Good. And if you are watching if you're watching in the Sanford News, we put in a little welcome for our new superintendent principal, along with his picture. We put that in there, kind of giving a little bit of his background, and that should be, I think it'll be in this week. If it's not in this week, it'll be in next week. 'Cause I got it in pretty close to noon time, and I know that's their deadline, so, okay. Anything else to come before the board?
I'll make a motion to adjourn, not using that clock. 6:32?
6:30.
Yep.
30 on that? Yep.
6:30. No second?
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we adjourn. All those in favor? So moved.
What could that be?
Let's write this down.
Yeah,
Quickest
record.
meeting